What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. So last episode we installed the suspension. In this episode we're gonna be setting those down. Now before I do that, I do want to install this little light right here. I'm not sure if you guys recall, but I showed this off last time, and it's really more for looks because it's supposed to be like a fog light, but this is like the bright setting on it, and then it has a flasher setting, and then it has like a dim setting. And all you do is you unhook the power to it and then you reconnect it back. I don't really like that control, and at the same time this fog light isn't really bright, so it's kind of just useless. So what I want from this, however, is not the light itself, it's actually just this look right here. Now it's a little hard to see in the video, but this thing is really red. So in the video it looks really bright, but yeah, you have to take my word for it. This thing is just really red, and then this is like a blue circle around it. Okay, this again, I'm adding it just for show, so it's not for anything else. And the way I want to hook it up is I want to put it on my high beam activation. Now, as with anything that you install after you're done with stuff, that usually means some rework. Great. Now, the reason why I didn't install it is because I was kind of undecided if it was even worth the thing. But you know what? I do want it, and it's going to go right here. I went back to the harness and figured out this is the high beam. For whatever reason, I don't really know what these three wires are. They must be some other controls, but I don't have any access to that anymore. I'm going to guess that it's the fog light. I don't have fog light control anymore. I took it off. So those won't be used at all. But that means that they aren't ground or anything. So I need to get in here again and open up the ground. Now for the brace, I do now need to weld onto my intercooler again. And that brings in this old pipe that I have. I don't know if you guys remember, but I used to have a Red Bull sign that I got from my old job. I basically tore that apart and started using it for pieces. See, I knew this aluminum was gonna come in handy. That's the main reason why I grabbed it. So what I want to do is look at this really nice weld on them. Well, somebody was a professional. So what I'm gonna do is actually cut this out right here, and I'm just gonna take these two tabs. Alright, so the brackets are mounted, and let's go ahead and put on the lights and put back my intercooler piping. Oh, look at that. I mean, that's not gonna make it into the engine bay, but somehow managed to drop that in there. He might make it there eventually, but yeah. Anyway, it's meant to be, guys. It's a good thing that I took this off to mount the lights. Also, one thing to note, I apparently forgot to tighten this one anyway, so good thing all the way around. It's meant to be. Sometimes things just happens where they work out really well, and it's one of those things. If I haven't tried to mount this, I wouldn't have found this thing, and I wouldn't have found out that I was driving with a disconnected boost line, which would mean that when I actually get on it, it will just pop right off. Alright guys, check it out. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Now eventually I will have to redo my bumper, so I'm kind of thinking I might end up having a cover on the intercooler and kind of a special housing or like a special spot just for the two headlights or the two lights. But for now it will remain like this until that happens. Main reason why I don't necessarily want to do that right now is because I'm considering something a little bit of a drastic change later on in the car. Just to give you guys an idea of where I'm heading with this, I'm thinking of a whole front end removal kind of setup. Like you just lift the whole front end. That will include the fenders, the hood, also the whole bumper. So the whole thing just kind of comes up or comes out. That's why I don't want to redo the front now, because if I do that route, then it's just wasted effort. Alright guys, so the car is out. I was rolling it around and tightening the suspension. Now let's address this bumper issue. So I know the bumper is already in pretty poor shape, but about, I want to say like 3 weeks ago, I was trying to get on a ramp, and then the ramp kind of slipped, or the car slipped off the ramp, and yeah, ripped out this bumper right here. So what I'm kind of thinking of doing is, one, I'm gonna bolt this thing back up, just a regular bolt instead of one of those rivets. But here I'm thinking I could probably zip tie it in place. So yeah, before it gets worse, because it looks like it's starting to already. It used to be just like right here, now it's extending. Or maybe it was always like that, I don't know. Need some zip ties, a drill, of course our bits. Now I've not done this before, but according to Google, which you find everything on Google, I guess you pick a drill bits that's the same size as your zip ties. So this one, that way it'll be nice and snug. Alright. That way I don't lose track. Let's go ahead and pre-plan everything. Okay, we're just gonna have to tighten it the best it can. Alright, not a bad look. Not too great, but not a bad look. Alright, first things first. Looks like our coolant's good. I am low on fuel, so let's go ahead and get some gas. Alright, we are back. Apparently I forgot to turn this on, so no video or no footage from this camera. But I still have this one, and of course I still have this thing right here. Now, as far as how the car went, the car drove pretty nice, especially with the new suspension. The brakes, however, they're squealing like crazy. So we'll see what we can do with that. It's pretty hot. Woo! Let's get a temp on the turbo right quick. $630 degrees. 700. Oh, yeah, 630 or 640 or so. Alright, so here's a few things that I'm pretty happy with so far. The first one, the suspension. It's pretty awesome. The brakes are pretty awesome, except it kind of squeals. So that part sucks. Now the cooling system looks like it's set. I bled it one time when I first started it, I think like yesterday. Car sat here. I didn't have to rebleed it today, which means all the leaks and everything is good to go. Yeah, so hopefully I don't have to keep rebleeding it every time I have to drive it. I also have one more discovery. I'm actually trying to roll down my windows by powering it on. I couldn't do it for whatever reason. Besides the point. So here's my discovery. See this gear right here where the motor would have been? Well, guess what? I could actually just fabricate something there and then just kind of turn it into manual window. See that? Now I do have to add some sort of lock somewhere. I don't know. I'll figure that out. But that's pretty awesome. I don't have to custom made anything if I want to keep a manual window. Or I could just remove this whole thing altogether and not have a window. I'm not sure yet. Which means passenger side will be the same thing. Now it's pretty hot in here, and I actually felt the heat coming back inside the cabin. So I do need to finish up that shroud, which is on top of our list right here, guys. On top of our list. So once the fan shroud is done, we can get some driving done, or I'm possibly thinking of, paying somebody else to tune the car already, just because I want to start driving it more. And yeah. So that concludes this episode. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.